Award-winning Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
This is Cinema Classics.
And boy, we are past the Oscars.
Post-Oscar palaver.
Yeah, however.
That's what we're going to do.
That's it.
Even though it's so far past the Oscars, people are already thinking about the next Oscars.
They are. But we, as always, will do what we want to do.
That's right.
And we have to let off steam about the Oscars. So let's do it.
Well, you know, the only lasting effect the Oscars have after the ceremony is what sort of commercial effect it has on the winners, right? And so you can see currently at one of the big theaters, one of the big megaplexes in town, still playing are Call Me By Your Name, The Post, Darkest Hour, The Shape of Water, The Greatest Showman, which had a song nomination, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So it just goes to show you that it is true. Oscar nominations and Oscar wins often give movies a longer shelf life at the box office.
Oh, I think so too.
It means millions of more dollars in profit.
However, the acid test is when we have them on Cinema Classics.
Just, right. They make that cut.
Were you happy with Shape of Water as the big winner?
No, I hate that movie.
Why? I love that movie. Why do you hate that movie?
You know, listen, do I have to have this conversation again? You're letting it slide. That movie tells, it doesn't show. It just tells us they're in love. It doesn't show us.
I agree.
One hand pressed against a glass tank with a fish guy in it. An exchange of hard-boiled eggs does not a love story make.
You are a laser, for Christ's sake. If there's one weakness in that movie, it is absolutely that.
Can't just say that they're in love.
But it's a fantasy.
I know it's John, great. It doesn't matter what the genre is. It doesn't matter what the premise is. I don't know, buy anything if it's done right.
So you think Three Billboards was better? Or at least you appreciate.
Yes, of course. Three Billboards is a far superior film.
Why?
It's better written. The performances are better. The tone of it is masterful. So few movies, so few filmmakers are able to strike such a dark but humorous and poignant tone. He does all of it masterfully. The Shape of Water sometimes, verges into, is it sci-fi? Is it an action movie? Is it a romance? Is it all of these things at once? It tries to be all of those things at once, but lacks the finesse that Three Billboards had.
Yeah, and I thought its grittiness, I loved it. It's sardonic humor.
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest scene there is when she kicks the kids.
Yeah, right.
That cracks me up.
I know you love that.
Or when she goes by
and yells at the
reporter. I love that. Yeah. Now, what about the acting performances? I was very happy. No, I was very well. Of course, Frances got it for Best Actress. And I like that. I'm not sure who else. Who's the big competition? Who was her big competition? In that category. Yeah.
I don't know who was.
Wait a minute. Sally Hawkins. Yeah.
Sally Hawkins as the mute woman in The Shape of Water was really good. Sally Hawkins is an eminent performer. She is extraordinarily expressive, and she can do a lot of things. She did everything she could in that movie.
Yeah.
And her performance was great, but I just didn't buy the fact it wasn't that I didn't buy her. I didn't buy the connection. And that connection, when you don't have another actor to perform, she's performing against a guy who is heavily made up.
Yeah, yeah.
And whose expressiveness is augmented by computer effects. Yeah. It's hard to, the onus then is on Guillermo to show us that connection, and he didn't.
And I've always had reservations about roles where there's no dialogue for them. I always have reservations. I always think it's through language that you're going to find the most expression and maybe the best example of acting. Not that she couldn't, and she did a great job. Mm-hmm. But with that limitation, I found that Frances McDormand, who was all talk, had really the better opportunity.
Yeah, and also in Shape of Water, Sally Hawkins is surrounded by Richard Jenkins
Oh,
and
great role.
Octavia Spencer. No, they're not.
What?
They're cliched roles. He plays the gay neighbor, and she plays the sassy black friend, and that's insulting.
Well, I agree
You
with
know,
you 50%.
aren't we beyond that? Like,
I
Del Toro
50%.
should know better.
50% of your claim is true. Octavia Spencer's role was negligible. A bit like Denzel Washington being nominated for Roman Clapper Esquire. Nothing there, but somebody who's won before that you throw in there
Yeah.
because you need it.
Well, yeah, because you're not paying attention.
Now I know you won't disagree with me about Gary Oldman.
Oh no, he was great.
Yeah.
That is a great man. That is a great performance. Gary Oldman has always been able to bury himself in character accoutrements and then deliver some astonishing interpretation of a human being. And he did that with Churchill in Darkest Hour.
Now the area where we always have some argument is directing.
Mm-hmm.
Del Toro won it for Shape of Water.
Ridiculous, as I've just pointed out. That is
Okay.
a ridiculous
Okay.
win.
Okay, because you would have thought, who would get it? Paul Thomas Anderson? Paul Thomas Anderson for...
It would have certainly made more sense, but also Greta Gerwig was snubbed in that category.
Yeah, okay, boy.
And I think she did a better job. Was she working with as much money? No. Was she working with big names? No. But all the same, she made a better film.
And finally...
Who else was in that category, by the way?
In directing?
Yeah.
All right. So you had Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk.
Okay, better than Shape of Water.
Jordan Peele, Get Out.
Okay, better than Shape of Water.
That's it. I think there are only 5. Paul Thomas Anderson, of course, Phantom Thread.
All of them better.
Yeah,
All of them did a better job. You don't agree with that?
Del Toro, how did he win if they all did a better
They
job?
wanted to give it to the guy. I don't know why. They're stupid. I can't believe that they even saw that film.
Oh, I think they did.
I don't think they did. You know as well as anybody that the Academy very rarely sees all of those films. I think they heard people talking about it, and they thought, okay, well, it must be great, and it'll be different. We'll give the best director award to a weird movie about a fish guy.
Well, we're gonna end up by saying I give a number 1 to the best foreign language film, and that is A Fantastic Woman.
Good, cool. What?
I'm just saying. I'm just because you haven't seen it. I know that.
Yeah, and I didn't see that one coming. That's good.
Because the other one was The Square, which is a terrific film.
I just like that you're, at your age, you're open to those kinds of stories. It's great.
No, at my age, I'm out of here.